Good evening, I'm Taylor Bruck. Thank you for joining us. Athens City Council candidates are continuing to campaign for the upcoming election. Yesterday, 6 candidates for seats on council met at the Athens Community Center for an open forum. The candidates present were incumbent Sarah Grace, Peter Kotsis, and Patrick McGee, along with challengers Elizabeth Klotfelter, Ellie Hamrick, and Chris Monday. The forum, hosted by the Athens County League of Women Voters, took questions from the media and public with topics ranging from law enforcement to local businesses. The forum can be streamed in its entirety on the City of Athens, Ohio YouTube page. Ohio University's Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life is working to provide clarity about who will be participating in homecoming celebrations after the suspension of 15 fraternities yesterday. An email sent out by the office says that they will be working to restructure some homecoming events, as all suspended fraternities will be prohibited from participating. One of Ohio's largest high schools is closed today after an assault and threat of violence. The Lake County News Herald reports Mentor High School made the decision to close today because of what school officials are calling a threat and retaliation for yesterday's assault. Mentor police say a 17-year-old girl assaulted another 17-year-old girl, sending her to the hospital. The victim has been released from the hospital. Police say the suspected attacker is facing charges in juvenile court. A new suicide prevention bill is headed to the Ohio State Senate. The Safety and Violence Education for Students Act, or SAVE Students Act, would require middle and high school students to take an annual class on suicide and violence prevention. It would also require every public school to have an anti-violence club led by students, a threat assessment team for school staff, and require schools to contract with an anonymous 24-hour reporting system for tips about safety threats.
Well, fall has finally made its presence known across southeastern Ohio, northern Kentucky, northern West Virginia, and northeastern Kentucky. 70 degrees right now in Athens. Just beautiful. Humidity is at 39%, very dry and comfortable out there. Pressure is at 30.20 inches and rising, and winds are out of the north at 8 miles an hour. All across the area, temperatures are in the upper 60s and lower 70s under mainly partly cloudy skies. 70 right now in Athens, 73 the warm spot down in Ironton and Ripley, 69 in Columbus, 64 is the cool spot in New Lexington. Again, just beautiful out there, all under mainly partly to mostly sunny skies. Weather highlights for the next couple of days. A slight weekend warm-up is in store. It's going to be still comfortable, however, but we have some early week rain coming up next week. We'll talk all about that coming up in my full forecast, Taylor, but it looks like this dry, beautiful weather is not going to stick around for much longer.
We need to enjoy it while we can, Nick. Thank you. An Ohio man is facing 6 years in federal prison for cyber attacks. 33-year-old James Robinson was sentenced yesterday for the cyber attacks that disrupted government websites, including the City of Akron and the Ohio Department of Public Safety. Robinson pleaded guilty to the attacks in March. Federal prosecutors say Robinson's attacks made the websites unavailable to users by overwhelming them with traffic. They also say Robinson was tracked down through a Twitter post where he took credit for the attacks. In Dayton, a county prosecutor wants a 17-year-old boy charged with as an adult for assault. The boy is charged with felonious assault in juvenile court, but Montgomery County Prosecutor Matt Heck, Jr., says he wants the high school students charged moved to adult court. Authorities say the teen headbutted a referee while wearing a helmet during a football game in August, giving the referee a concussion. The referee says he was assaulted after calling a penalty on the teen for pushing an opponent after the whistle had blown. Kentucky's lieutenant governor is speaking out today in response to comments the governor made yesterday. The Courier-Journal reports Governor Matt Bevin made remarks indicating he wanted a running mate to tackle deeper issues like healthcare or the opioid crisis. Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton says this was the first she's heard from Bevin with concerns about her priorities in office. This comes after Bevin dropped Hampton from the re-election ticket earlier this year. Coming up, another vaping death in the U.S. brings the total into the 20s. Plus, President Trump doubles down on his conversations with the Ukraine leader. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
the end of dinosaurs.
It's the most important event in the last 100 million years.
Now, an extraordinary expedition
at ground zero, investigating how this impact led to such mass extinction,
reveals an unimaginable global chain reaction.
The atmosphere was emitting energy larger than the sun. They were toast.
And its aftermath.
It's important to look at what survived.
The Day the Dinosaurs Died on Nova.
Whether by land, by air, or by sewer, these modern migrators are joining the daily commute.
Please mind the gap.
In and out of our cities. And while they face unfamiliar dangers, the rewards can be worth it. With one paw in the wild and one hoof in the city, these clever commuters are making the best of life in the wild metropolis. Only on PBS.
The Philippine leader has faced harsh criticism for launching a bloody drug war. Thousands of people have been killed in the brutal crackdown.
My campaign against drugs will not stop until the last pusher and the last drug lord are
The most dramatic moment of learning in my life happened in less than a second.
50 years ago, 5 scientists made a revolutionary discovery.
It was a flashbulb moment.
They learned how to heal a battered planet.
We've found the rules, how systems work, how the world works.
Join these unsung heroes as they tell their unique story of hope, one that will change the way you see nature.
Protests are escalating throughout Hong Kong after the government invoked emergency powers to ban protester face masks. A peaceful march descended into chaos as rail and subway transport services were shut down and the Bank of China was set on fire. Riot police deployed tear gas to try and disperse the crowds. The number of vaping-related deaths in the U.S. is now up to 20. Pennsylvania is the latest state to report a death from lung disease that could be tied to vaping. It's the first possible vaping-related death in the state. Health officials there are warning residents to immediately stop vaping any illegally purchased products and exercise caution with illegal e-cigarettes. It is not known what is making people sick or if it is limited to illegal products. The Centers for Disease Control is reporting 1,080 probable cases of lung injury associated with e-cigarettes across the country. A Kentucky Health Summit next week plans to address vaping use among teens. The Children's Environmental Health Summit is planned for next week and will discuss topics like vaping use, dental health, and immunizations. Health and Family Services Secretary Adam Meyer says the event is an opportunity to address public health and safety of children and inform policy decisions. The summit will take place on Thursday at the Center for Rural Development in Somerset. Microsoft says hackers linked to the Iranian government attempted to attack the 2020 U.S. presidential campaign. The group Microsoft is calling Phosphorus attempted the hack between August and September, but was not successful. The Democratic National Committee sent a security alert to 2020 campaigns about the attempt. It says the hackers create believable-looking phishing emails and fake LinkedIn profiles as primary tactics. The targeting accounts are associated with a U.S. presidential campaign, current and former U.S. government officials, journalists covering global politics, and prominent Iranians living outside of Iran. Engulfed in an impeachment inquiry, President Trump is talking up the U.S. economy. But this morning's jobs reports and other numbers released this week paint a murky picture of what's ahead. Karen Kafer reports from Washington.
Under the cloud of an intensifying impeachment inquiry by House Democrats, President Trump highlighting the new jobs report.
3.5% unemployment, and that is a tremendous number, the lowest in over 50 years.
The 3.5% unemployment rate reported by the Labor Department Friday is the lowest since December 1969. U.S. employers added 136,000 jobs. But that's another slowdown in hiring, which averaged 223,000 new jobs per month last year.
What people really want to look at is
How many jobs can this economy create on any given month? And is that increasing or decreasing? And clearly right now that's decreasing, as is just about everything because of the U.S.-China trade war and a slowdown in manufacturing.
Manufacturing jobs declined in September as a key manufacturing index also dipped to a 10-year low. Businesses concerned about the trade war with China. The White House preparing for more talks next week.
I think the Chinese rhetoric has been positive. So is ours.
In addition to tariffs on Chinese imports, a round of new tariffs hitting European goods, things like wine and cheese, is set to take effect this month. Retailers gearing up for the biggest season of the year, eyeing the uncertainty. Still, a National Retail Federation forecast released Thursday projects an increase in holiday sales of about 4% over last year. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Says he has the absolute right to ask other countries to investigate corruption. He tweeted Thursday, "As the President of the United States, I have an absolute right, perhaps even a duty to investigate or have investigated corruption, and that would include asking or suggesting other countries to help us out. This isn't about a campaign, this is about corruption on a massive scale." Trump's tweets come after he told reporters earlier in the day that he wanted both Ukraine and China to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son. The comments join a flurry of defiant statements and falsehoods from the president in recent days after the launch of the House impeachment inquiry last week. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Stay tuned for some facts about the second most common cancer in women. That story still ahead.
And weather-wise, that beautiful fall-like weather is going to continue into the weekend, but rain chances will increase as well going on into the beginning of next week. We'll talk all about that coming up in my full forecast, but first a look at stocks of local interest.
The Philippine leader has faced harsh criticism for launching a bloody drug war. Thousands of people have been killed in the brutal crackdown.
My campaign against drugs will not stop until the last pusher and the last drug lord are
Three carefree brothers drop everything to tend to their aging grandmother.
¿Cómo puedes decir que no hay conciencia?
Párate, América, párate, por favor.
Discover the joy and sacrifice of being there till the end. America on POV.
What's up, everyone? My name is Joseph Hennessy, and I'm the host of Gridiron Glory. Our shows air on Friday nights at 11:30 p.m. and on Saturdays at 11:30 a.m., so don't miss out on Southeastern Ohio football. We're going to be at Wellston, my old hometown, Washington Courthouse this week, South Gallia, Waterford, and our game of the week is at New Lexington against Tri-Valley. So follow all of our content on WOUB.org and our social media accounts. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory. See you Friday.
For years after the massacre, horses would rear and wouldn't go near the spot where those bodies lay.
15 men were taken out in the hours of darkness, lined up against a bluff, and executed.
Porvenir is the last of a long set of killings.
Who did the shooting? Who did the most effective cover-up?
Welcome back. Well, October is starting to feel a little bit more like October out there as you're going out and about today. Here's a look at the visible satellite. Lots of clouds up to our north. That's due to a little bit of a lake effect enhancement as well. Overhead, not much to deal with in the clouds. It's been a beautiful day, and it's all due to this slight trough in the jet stream. Large jet streak over here too. That allowed a low pressure to come on through and bring a cold front in as well. In this left entrance region, a big area of high pressure has built in, and that's created pleasant weather all across the area today. Again, there's that cold front moved way off to the east. A slight bit of a leftover from that cold front over southeastern Ohio, northeastern Kentucky, and northern West Virginia, but that will not really affect us in precipitation as we go throughout the night. Fall is back and it's here to stay. Temperatures were in the 60s and 70s, and those are going to continue into tomorrow. And again, it's all due to this little dip in the jet stream. In this green and blue area, we could see cold and near average temperatures. Down here, that warm and above average temperatures have finally moved off to the south and moved off to the west, actually, as the pattern has shifted. So tonight in Athens, a chilly night. Make sure you have a jacket if you're out and about. 47 degrees, mostly clear and cool. Winds will be out of the north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour across the area. Temperatures will be generally in the upper 40s and lower 50s. The warm spot 53 down in Ripley. Mainly cloudy to mainly clear skies, or mainly clear to partly cloudy skies as you're out and about tonight. It will be chilly. Again, make sure you have that jacket. High pressure will move off to the east tomorrow and allow an area of low pressure off to our west to develop and allow a warm front to move in for this weekend. And it's going to warm up later on this weekend, but first tomorrow, just another gorgeous day. 74 degrees, mostly sunny and very mild. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour across the area. Again, same beautiful weather. Temperatures will be in the middle and upper 70s with the cool spot at 70 in New Lexington. Warm spot 77 down in Ironton. Mainly clear to partly cloudy skies as well tomorrow. That warm front will move on through Saturday, allow a cold front to come through on Sunday and cool us off even more at the beginning of next week. So cooler and rainy start to your week next week. Cold front comes through Sunday night into Monday, and that's going to bring some rain chances in as well. You could see a very strong cold front too. Here's the cooler air off to the west. There's that warmer air off to the east, and that's going to really cool us off and bring some rain into the area. There's that rain Sunday night into Monday. Watch out for some isolated storms as well. 7-day temperature averages Saturday were 5 degrees above average. Sunday we're 7 degrees above average. We warm or cool you down on Monday to 5 degrees below average. We're finally at average on Tuesday before warming you back above average middle of next week. 10-day air masses, cooler air right now. That'll allow warmer air to come in on Sunday as that warm front comes through. Tuesday, we're going to cool you down again, even cooler than we saw today. And next weekend's the really cool down day. Some of our models have us not even getting out of the upper 40s and lower 50s. So that is something to watch out for. Extended forecast 75 on Sunday. Rain chances increase as that cold front approaches and cooling you way down into the lower 60s on Monday. Very pleasant middle of the week next week before warming you back up into the 70s on Friday with rain chances before cooling you down next week, and that major cool down is coming. Taylor?
Thank you, Nick. Newly released text messages show the extent to which U.S. diplomats pressured Ukraine to investigate Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. Miguel Marquez reports.
Overnight, the three House committees releasing an avalanche of new evidence after former U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, met behind closed doors with investigators for more than 9 hours. House Democrats releasing text messages provided by Volker showing President Trump wanted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to agree to launch investigations into former Vice President Joe Biden before meeting with the newly elected leader. Volker texting Ukraine's top diplomat, Andrei Yermak, less than an hour before Trump's call with Zelensky, writing, "Heard from White House, assuming President Z convinces Trump he will investigate. Get to the bottom of what happened in 2016. We will nail down date for visit to Washington." According to President Trump last month,
there was never any quid pro quo.
But senior U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, questioning if that's the case. Texting on September 9th, "I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with the political campaign." More than 4 hours later, Ambassador Gordon Sondland responding, "I believe you are incorrect about President Trump's intentions. The president has been crystal clear. No quid pro quos of any kind." The text messages also revealing just how involved Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, was in setting up the call between Trump and Zelensky. The whistleblower complaint alleging Volker held meetings with Giuliani, where in one, according to the Washington Post, he warned Giuliani against trusting information he was receiving from Ukrainian political figures about Biden and his son.
If Volker had said to me that my sources were incredible or wrong, any of them, I would have immediately said, did you do an investigation? Because I really wanted them to.
Republicans insisting Volker's deposition showed no wrongdoing by the White House.
Not one thing he has said comports with any of the Democrats' impeachment narrative. Not one thing.
The administration is in an even stronger place today than they were this morning.
Earlier, President Trump making this stunning suggestion.
China should start an investigation into the Bidens, because what happened in China is just about as bad as what happened with Ukraine.
And doubling down on Twitter despite his pending impeachment inquiry, writing he has an absolute right, perhaps even duty, to investigate or have investigated corruption. And that would include asking or suggesting other countries to help us out.
The president has confessed to his violation of his oath of office right there, then and there, so that don't need too much inquiry.
Intelligence Community Inspector General Michael Atkinson will appear before the three House committees this morning. House Democrats are threatening to subpoena the White House today if they don't turn over documents regarding Ukraine. October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Every year, thousands of women and men are diagnosed with breast cancer. And this month, doctors, patients, and advocates are working to make sure we spread the word on how to prevent, screen, and treat it. In today's Health Minute, Meredith Wood brings us some quick facts on this deadly disease.
All-important Macomb County, Michigan. Has impeachment dented the president's support here?
Did you vote for the president or Clinton in 2016?
President.
For the president. Are you still just as happy with him?
No comment.
Some of the president's supporter on the fence, but most we spoke to see impeachment as little more than politics.
I think it's a lot of just people don't like him, they want him out of office, the left and the media.
John Scans voted for Trump in 2016 and had concerns early on. 6 months ago, he thought Joe Biden might be an option. Now, he says the push for impeachment has him supporting the president more than ever.
They are there for one thing now and one thing only, and that's to try to impeach the president.
But Democrats here say moving forward with the impeachment process could sway voters to their side.
Does it help?
And does it help Macomb?
Votes in Macomb County?
I think so. I think so, because I think people in Macomb County want to see what's being done, see the right thing being done.
Obama won Macomb and Michigan twice. Trump easily won Macomb and flipped the state by a razor-thin margin.
And who won the state of Michigan after decades?
The county critical to both parties. Republican strategist Jamie Rowe says the drive for impeachment will only help re-elect the president and Republicans.
If they're going to try and impeach him on this Ukraine business, I think that they are driving themselves straight back to the minority in the House.
Paul Kanan with the Michigan Democratic Party says while impeachment is important, Democrats also need to keep their focus on the issues.
We need to be talking about what affects people on a day-to-day basis, and that's those blue-collar pocketbook issues.
Miguel Marquez, CNN, Macomb County, Michigan.
My apologies, I read the wrong intro to the package. Now here's today's Health Minute.
Breast cancer. It's the second most common cancer among women in the United States and the second leading cause of cancer deaths among women overall. Each year, about 245,000 new cases are diagnosed in women in the U.S. and 2,200 cases are found in men. While the 5-year survival rate is almost 90%, approximately 41,000 women and nearly 500 men will die from it each year. Breast cancer is a disease where the cells in the breast grow out of control. While it can start in different areas of the breast, it can also metastasize and spread to other parts of the body. The two most common types of breast cancer are invasive ductal carcinoma. Here, the cancer cells grow outside of the ducts into other parts of the breast. Invasive lobular carcinoma describes cancer cells that spread from the lobules to breast tissue close by. While some people may experience symptoms, many will not. That is why experts agree regular breast cancer screenings and early diagnosis are essential. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Next, we'll take a look at what Ohio University's women's soccer has coming up over the weekend. That story's next on Newswatch.
Think Wednesday on PBS for stories from the world around us. Stories of revival.
Things started to reconnect with each other.
The day the dinosaurs died.
It's the most important event in the last 100 million years.
And wild commuters.
The world's wildlife is on the move.
For stories that get you closer to life. Think Wednesday, starting at 8/7 Central. Think PBS.
Three carefree brothers drop everything to tend to their aging grandmother.
¿Cómo puedes decir que no hay conciencia? Párate, América, párate, por favor.
Discover the joy and sacrifice of being there till the end. America on POV.
For years after the massacre, horses would rear and wouldn't go near the spot where those bodies lay.
15 men were taken out in the hours of darkness, lined up against a bluff, and executed.
Porvenir is the last of a long set of killings.
Who did the shooting? Who did the most effective cover-up?
What's up, everyone? My name is Joseph Hennessy, and I'm the host of Gridiron Glory. Our shows air on Friday nights at 11:30 p.m. and on Saturdays at 11:30 a.m., so don't miss out on Southeastern Ohio football. We're going to be at Wellston, my old hometown, Washington Courthouse this week, South Gallia, Waterford, and our game of the week is at New Lexington against Tri-Valley. So follow all of our content on WOUB.org and our social media accounts. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory. See you Friday.
Welcome back. The Bobcat soccer team returns home to Chesay Field over the weekend. Newswatch reporter Michael Roth takes a closer look.
Soccer continues MAC play this weekend, but this time they're at home hosting Toledo and Bowling Green at Chesay Field. Last weekend, the Bobcats got to travel together to DeKalb and Kalamazoo, splitting the two contests.
You get to spend a lot of time together as a team. You don't have a choice but to spend time together as a team, so it's always a good bonding experience for them and getting to know each other and getting to play on the road through some adversity.
Maddie Young has made a big impact on the score sheet with 3 goals this season, adding 1 more last weekend, but her assist meant a lot to the freshman.
I was really happy that I got to start off with an assist, because I don't know, I thought that made me feel like I was important, and like without me, like Abby wouldn't have gotten the ball, but that was nice to just know that I had an important role, and then to get a goal after that was just like another confidence boost.
As the Bobcats prepare for Toledo on Friday, they know they have a huge game on Sunday against Bowling Green, the team that knocked Ohio out of the MAC tournament last season.
It's exciting for us to be able to put ourselves up against the top teams in the league, because that's where we want to be. You know, for us to go to the semifinal last year and lose to BG in the semifinal at their home field was a great learning experience, gained a lot of experience for our players, understanding what it's like to be back at that level, because it has been a long time in this program to be in the semifinal.
For the Bobcats, the work towards the ultimate goal of a MAC championship continues this weekend.
Honestly, I really want to try to get this MAC championship. I feel like that would be a really good. This team has worked so hard, and even before I got here, I can just see it. They've worked so hard, and they all want this so bad. So I feel like that would be a great team goal to accomplish together.
To stay up to date with everything Ohio soccer, make sure to keep it locked in with Bobcat Showcase.
After today's match against Akron, the Bowling Green Falcons will travel to Athens on Sunday. The game is set to start at 1 o'clock. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Taylor Bruck. Have a great night.
What's up, everyone? My name is Joseph Hennessy, and I'm the host of Gridiron Glory. Our shows air on Friday nights at 11:30.